While we pay to keep our politicians fighting, how do we, the people, rise up and solve the great challenges of our time? We do it by embracing freedom and liberty. There may be no such thing as a free lunch, but this hour is as close as it gets. Welcome to A Free Solution.
Hey, everybody. It is Larry Sharp here on A Free Solution, usually host of the Sharp Way Show, but today with you on WYSL, Rochester, New York, WACK, Newark, New York, which is, as some of you know, the cool Newark. Sorry, Jersey, take that. You want to reach out to me? You can. You can talk to me if you want to, or just listen. 585-346-3000. You may know that sometimes I have a day job. Not always, but sometimes I do. And that day job that I have is consulting, teaching, training, coaching businesses and executives. It's how I try to make a living when I can. And one of the things that I have to deal with is bad corporate culture. You might say, wait a minute, Larry, what does that mean? Does that mean people yelling at each other? Maybe, could mean that. Could mean many things. But there are many questions I'll begin to ask people and what I'll listen for when I'm in the middle of companies. And one of those important questions that I'm listening for is if something goes wrong. Some employee or some junior does something that they probably shouldn't have done or turns out to be a mistake, whatever the case may be. Customers unhappy. And what do the leaders say? Do they walk up to that person and say, who told you to do that? It's a common question, right? Who told you to do that? Who told you? Was that Bob? Was that Jane? Who was it? Was it the customer? There's another way of asking. The other question, which is the one I want to hear, is why did you do it? They're very different questions. When I hear who told you to do that, what am I asking for with that question? I'm asking, who can I blame? Who can I yell at? Who can I fire? Who can I point my nasty finger at? That's what I'm asking for. Now, when I say who told you, what do you start thinking? Well, I better come up with somebody. Otherwise, he's going to point that finger at me. He's going to want to fire me. So I'm going to have to say someone else told me to do it. So that's what I'm asking for. That's what I'm going to get. I'm going to get somebody to blame. You might go, well, isn't that good, Larry? It isn't. It feels good. It seems good. It's not good. The right question is, why did you do it? And when someone says, well, Jane told me to, Bob told me to. Great. Why did you do it? Well, because Bob told me to. But you knew it was going to fail, right? Well, yeah. So why'd you do it? Why is that different? Because now I'm not trying to find blame. I'm trying to find responsibility. So now we can figure out, why did this actually happen? And then is there a way of lessening the chance of it happening again? Note, I did not say, so it could never happen again. That's also a terrible idea. Whenever you hear someone go, we have to make sure this never happens again. That goes right along with who told you. Because we're looking for blame. It must never happen again because we can never blame anybody. So let's make sure it never happens again. Now I'm going to give you a secret. You can never make never. It doesn't work that way. Whenever you demand perfection, you will get deception every single time. So don't demand perfection. Demand better and better and better and better. That you should be demanding. Always better. But you can't get better until you figure out what went wrong, why it went wrong, and you then change your system.
Times, Indiana.
Now, you can blame someone and punish someone. That's sometimes okay, but it's not good enough, ever. We must change a system. That's the most important piece, which is why we must be thinking, not who told you to do it, but why did you do it? And I say, okay, Larry, that sounds good in business. That sounds awesome in business. Love that. But what about in government? Does that change? It doesn't. Because we have a system right now that is all about blame. All about blame. If we're talking about blame and we're always trying to get somebody and fire, and you hear it all the time, there's a problem. That guy should be fired. That is almost always, not 100%, but like 80%, a bad idea. Larry, you tell me I should keep people who are incompetent? No, I'm not. What I'm saying is most of the time when people make mistakes, if they're actually incompetent, that's a hiring problem. But not just that. They're usually not incompetent. Again, sometimes they are, but they're usually not. Usually the reality of it is they made a mistake or the system was bad. So we fire them, often undeservedly, which is why they often sue us back and then actually win the lawsuit because they actually weren't incompetent. Our system was garbage. So we don't fix the system. So someone's going to make a mistake again. That person was fired unnecessarily. And now we lost the lawsuit. Lose, lose, lose. This is not the way things should happen. And it happened when I was running for office. And I still am. I don't just fire people when they make mistakes. We figure out what's wrong. We try to fix the system. I take responsibility regardless of whose fault it is. Sometimes it's my fault. Sometimes it's not. It doesn't matter. It's my responsibility. So I look for other people to take responsibility and fix it. You might go, Larry, that sounds amazing. Why don't we have that in government? Because it doesn't make any sense right now in our current system. In our current system, it's always other guy bad. So if other guy's bad, all I'm ever doing is trying to find a way for the other guy to be bad. So anything the other person does, doesn't matter who they are, I got to try to a reason, find a way for it to be bad. You might notice a phrase that I use often, which is, I try to give credit where credit is due. So even my political adversaries, people I don't like, people I don't respect sometimes even, when they do something right or correct or that I agree with, I say it. I go, I'm going to give credit where credit is due. I'm not saying you should vote for this person. I'm just saying, in this case, they are correct. In this case, did the right thing. Because the second reason why that matters is you don't only want to blame people, but you also want to reward good behavior. So when someone does the right thing, even if they've messed up in the past or done bad things in the past, you can say, hey, this was a good thing. If you keep doing this, we may be okay. Let's do a whole lot of this. And then maybe we'll be okay. Because there are some people who can be better. Why wouldn't you want to encourage that? Particularly if they're in charge of stuff. Even more important. But another piece I'll bring up here. When it's always about blame the other, then you're always the one who can step up and say, see, I'm the savior. These people are bad. I'm just going to save you from these bad people who are always making mistakes. And they're making mistakes not because they're dumb, not because they're incompetent, not because we didn't train them, not because they're ignorant, not because they're just humans. They're doing these bad things because they're bad. That's the reason. Because they're bad. That's the entire reason. The concept we have is when someone has that mindset, there is no chance for redemption, no chance for repair. I have to fix it for you. I'm your savior because the bad people are doing bad things. All good until you make the mistake, which is why no one admits to making a mistake. There we go. Can't make a mistake because then I'm the bad guy. Am I wrong? Am I right? Tell me. 585-346-3000. Larry Sharp, WYSL, a free solution. Back after the break.
Your business relies on computers and technology to operate. Slow, unreliable networks.
All right, I don't know if you heard me. We have Tom from Indiana.
And affect your bottom line.
Yeah, I figured you were on a roll, so no problem. I asked him to stick around until after the break, so he's still on the line.
Monitored for any issues, keeping your business running smoothly. They also help clients achieve HIPAA, PCI, and New York State cybersecurity compliance to keep your network safe and secure. Whatever your business IT needs are, Simple Tech Innovation should be your first call. They've won the best in Rochester 8 years in a row and have an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. Call them today for a free consultation at 585-200-3182. That's 585-200-3182. Simple Tech Innovations.
Oh, those injury attorney ads.
Hurt on your couch? Call 555-OUCH.
It's kind of cute watching that injury attorney buying breakfast for a crash test dummy, but while fun is fun, there's nothing amusing about getting your life back together after a personal injury or a motorcycle accident, or when you need defense for a DWI charge. Christopher Johnson takes your case seriously, and you'll feel like you're his only client because when you meet with him, your case gets 100% of his attention. So instead of cute singing jingles and magic phone numbers,
fall out of a tree? Call 33333.
write this number down and keep it with you. 585-415-3803. 415-3803. After all, Christopher Johnson knows you're no dummy. Get individual attention and integrity, experience, and expertise. Put the power of one on your legal team. 415-3803. Stay safe, be healthy, drive sober. Christopher Johnson Attorney, personal injury, car or motorcycle accidents, DWI defense.
As a veteran of the United States military, I can finally get the opportunity to enjoy special events, things that we couldn't afford, thanks to VetTix. Every empty seat at a concert, a game, or a play is a missed opportunity to say thanks to a veteran and service member. We can give our veterans a special event where they too can create their own cherished memories. Visit vettix.org. Find out how you can make a difference in a veteran's life.
Only available in the WYSL store at WYSL1040.com, the official Mount Worstmore line of merchandise. Top quality tees, hoodies, and coffee mugs depicting Mount Rushmore style are for worst presidents. Of course, you know who's front and center up on that mountain, and we think you'll recognize the other three. Mount Worstmore items make perfect gifts. They're a great way for you to make a personal statement. Mount Worstmore, locally produced and sold only in the WYSL store at WYSL1040.com.
A free solution.
Yes, it is Larry Sharp here on A Free Solution, trying my best to be interesting, I hope. Usually I'm host of the Sharp Way Show, which you can check out the Sharp Way Show whenever you like. Just Google the Sharp Way or Google me, Larry Sharp, and you'll see what I'm doing. But today, here with you, WYSL Rochester, New York, WACK, Newark, New York, 585-346-3000 is the number. And someone has called that number. And I'll be talking to him now. This is Tommy from Indiana. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good, Larry. You know, it's interesting you bring up this topic as the state of Indiana gets ready for the two parties May primary.
Mm-hmm.
If you remember in 92, Ross Perot said basically the same thing you're saying now.
Yes.
We have a system where Congress blames the Senate blames the President blames the Senate and the Congress. And
Mm-hmm.
it's literally, nothing gets done because we're too busy playing the blame game.
Yes.
Now,
Wasn't he the one, Tommy, who said something like, we gotta open up the hood and see how to fix the car or something like that?
we got to raise the hood and go in the engine, but I guarantee you it's not going to be a simple fix. We need a major overhaul.
There we go. I knew he had something like that. I knew that. Yes.
You know, and Larry, I faced that here in Washington County.
do you mean?
Everybody blames everybody else for everything that's went wrong, when all they need to really do is say, hey, look, we made a mistake.
Right.
I've said it from the time I started running for commissioner. I'm going to make mistakes. I'm not perfect. But as Jesse Ventura said when he ran for governor in Minnesota, yes, I'm going to make mistakes. But if they're mistakes from the heart, you don't have to apologize for them. And I don't think half the people in office right now really understand what that means.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think most of them are run mostly by fear. And when you run by fear, you don't think clearly, and you very rarely do the right thing.
You're not wrong. Or as a friend of mine here in the county once said, they operate on feel goods and play pretties. They're not running a county, they're operating a dollhouse.
Oh, I like that. Operating a dollhouse. That's good. I'm so going to steal that, and I'm not going to give you any credit, Tommy. That's awesome. I love that.
Thanks, Larry. Well, I kind of thiefed it myself, so that's okay. But no, like I said, I wanted to call in real quick and just kind of drop that Ross Perot and Jesse Ventura nugget in your lap. But you know, you're spot on. You know, it's not a time to play the blame game. It's time to find answers, and it's time to find open-minded solutions to problems that otherwise are not going to get fixed.
Absolutely. Agree completely. Yeah.
All right,
Tommy,
brother,
thanks so
you
much for the
take
call.
care.
I appreciate it.
All right, brother. Take care.
Have a good one. I think he's right on the money, right? And the issue is, particularly when you're in trouble. And the funny part is, I tell my daughters this. I have 2 daughters. And I say, if you get in trouble, first person you call is me, not your mother. Call me first. I'll tell you my after. First, call me. And my oldest one says, why? I said 2 reasons. 1, your mom will get mad at you first, then try to help. I'll help you fix the problem, then I'll get mad at you. So I'll worry about getting you out of trouble you're in first. And then I said, the second part is, there's no one on this planet who will help you bury the body but me. So just don't ever forget that. So in any case, the point is, there's a time for blame. There's a time for all those things. But we spend all our time on that, and then we don't fix anything. But there's a second piece of this, which I have to add on top of this. And that is when we become accustomed to that, there's always an enemy.
Chris from Patterson.
Right? You see it now. There's always an enemy. The enemy is, you know, it's the Rona. It's now Russia, right? There's always an enemy. And as there's always an enemy, I am always saving you, and you can't get rid of me, because then the enemy's going to get you. Let me grab a call if I can. I'll grab Chris from Patterson. How are you? Are you there? I think
Hang on.
Lost Chris. Yeah? Okay, no worries. We'll keep moving. So
He's there now.
Oh, is he? Chris, you there?
Yeah, hi. How's it going, Larry?
What's going on, Chris?
Well, I just had a quick question, if you don't mind. I'm actually getting into libertarianism myself, but I'm still trying to learn about what libertarianism is to me. And there's one particular roadblock that I keep running into, and I'm hoping that you might be able to help me answer.
Sure.
So I'm liking a lot of the things that I'm hearing out of.
Am I losing you again?
The question
I think he's on a bad cell.
As we advocate for freedom for everybody, if we might also have an obligation to teach people how to live with that freedom. and not necessarily through government means, but if we can meet that obligation in other ways.
Yeah, let me cover a couple of those things. First part is I think the biggest piece. Then I'll cover your part specifically. The biggest piece. While we want to advocate for freedom for everyone, of course we do. Some people don't want to be free, and that's okay, as long as they're voluntarily choosing to not be free and not enforcing that on others. People might say, why would someone not want to be free? There are many reasons: fear, their own issues, they have disabilities, or voluntarily. I joined the Marine Corps when I was 17. I gave up my freedom of speech. I gave up my freedom of movement to the government for several years, but it was voluntary. I chose to do so. I thought it was the right thing to do. I'm glad I did it. And that's okay. People check themselves into rehab. People get married. You lose your rights when you get married sometimes. People make decisions. So we need to advocate for freedom, but it's not necessarily meaning everyone has to be free. The actual goal of libertarianism is not freedom and liberty. It isn't. It's happiness. But the way to get there is through freedom and liberty. You being able to be as free as you want to be when you want to be that free. And that's the key piece moving forward that way. Secondary piece you brought up. People do need help. Of course they do. People fall down, they make mistakes, they have bad luck, they make bad decisions. All types of things happen to put people in trouble for many different types of reasons. Sometimes it's their fault, sometimes it's not, sometimes it's a combination, but people get into bad spots and require assistance. The problem is we've had government step in, most communities, for literally decades. So most communities have lost the institutional knowledge to support their own people. We as libertarians have to realize that. And if we just pull the rug out from people, they're going to suffer. I don't want people to suffer. If you've ever seen any of my policies, I have never said, yank the rug out. I've always said, encourage, try to help out, push the communities to begin to set up to support the people in their communities. So that now there are two options: the government option, which is still there, and the community options, multiple options against the government. The government will have two choices. One, get better. That'd be great. Or two, go away. Kind of even better. But either way, I want people to be helped. I want people to be supported. Of course I do. I mean, you may not know, but my mother was a convicted felon. My mother was an addict. Of course I wanted her help. She passed away. But of course I wanted her helped. Of course I wanted that. But I just don't think government can do a good job of it. And I think it's proven that over the course of several decades. There are better ways. We have to facilitate that. Did I answer your question?
Actually, you did. Yeah. It's just the biggest thing is every time I bring up that question to other libertarians, it's like immediately shut down. They think I'm going to go to government options. When really, as you said, I think there are communal things we can do. I have fraternities which all try to help each other the best we can that are outside of government. So it's kind of good to hear from you that is something you're open to, because a lot of times when
this is how I live.
Shut it down immediately.
Yeah, look, I ran for governor in 2018. You probably know I'm running again in 2022 right now. My policies never just go remove stuff, right? Well, not never, but usually not. Where anything that's actually servicing somebody, I don't want to remove. I want to find another option and then leave the government option there to either get better or wither away by creating better options, or certain groups of parts of the government that don't serve anybody, we can get rid of those right away. But if I'm serving people, it's a Bastiat quote: just because I don't want government to do it doesn't mean I don't want it done. Does that make sense?
Of course. Sounds good.
Excellent. Thank you for the call, my friend. I appreciate it.
Yep. You too.
I hope that made sense, everybody. 585-346-3000. Larry Sharp, WYSL in Rochester, a free solution. Back with your calls, and I'll be in the chat taking your comments after the break.
Yeah, I think his phone was getting flaky on us. happens.
Celebrating 35 years.
WYSL.
AM 1040 Avon Rochester, FM 92.1 Rochester, and FM 95.5 Spencerport.
Here's the latest forecast from the Newstead NBC Weather Center for tonight. We'll see mostly cloudy skies, temps in the mid-30s. As we look ahead to Wednesday, we start our warm-up. We'll see increasing sunshine. We should get up well into the 50s, just a little chillier near Lake Ontario. For your Thursday, St. Patrick's Day, should be in the mid and upper 60s to near 70. Again, a little cooler up near the lakeshore. Still pretty nice on Friday. Clouds increase, rain for Saturday. I'm Rich Gadelia, WYSL.
WYSL.
There's a place in the village of Avon you and your critters will love. Whether they're big or small, whether they've got hair, fur, or feathers, Avon Feed fits every need. There's a full selection of pet foods, bird feeders, and wild bird food, plus garden tools, quality grass seed, and a great selection of dry shod boots. Buy 10 bags of quality wild bird food, get the next bag free. Choose farm feeds and great equine products from Poland Grains. Find everything for your pet from feeding bowls to toys, leads, collars, beds, crates, and tie-outs. Avon Feed and Supply has what the big pet chain stores will never have: Tim Cole and his great knowledgeable staff. Choose from premium local products like Firefly, dairy, goat soaps, and lotions. While you're at Avon Feed, don't forget your two-legged pets with River at Thousand Island cheese and great flavors, including the new 12-year-old cheddar, plus Chef James bourbon meat sauce, once again nut butters and Nunday mustards. Open weekdays 9 to 6, Saturday 9 to 4. Avon Feed and Supply, West Main Street at the bottom of the hill, just west of the Circle.
Your business relies on computers and technology to operate. Slow, unreliable networks and servers can cause unplanned downtime and affect your bottom line. The experts at Simple Tech Innovations are here to help. Their preventative maintenance program ensures that your computers and network are kept up to date and monitored for any issues, keeping your business running smoothly. They also help clients achieve HIPAA, PCI, and New York State cybersecurity compliance to keep your network safe and secure. Whatever your business IT needs are, Simple Tech Innovation should be your first call. They've won the best in Rochester 8 years in a row and have an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. Call them today for a free consultation at 585-200-3182. That's 585-200-3182. Simple Tech Innovations.
Are you looking to update the kitchen, bath, or flooring in your home, but don't know where to begin? Whether it's cabinetry, carpeting, hardwood flooring, tile, or kitchen and bathroom remodeling, Claridge Design Center in Chi-Lai Paul Plaza is the place to start. Locally owned with over 25 years in business, Claridge custom designs and builds quality remodeling projects throughout Rochester and Monroe County. At Claridge, the visions and ideas you have for your home are developed with the experienced Claridge designers to make your dream project a reality. And the quality of service you receive at Claridge is second to none. For more information or to schedule an appointment, call Claridge at 889-5800 or visit their website to meet the Claridge team. See examples of their finished work at claridgedesigncenter.com.
If you suffer from headaches, if you're tired of putting your life on hold, popping pills for headaches that just keep coming back, listen closely. Did you ever think this could be related to your bite? It's called TMJ. And Drs. Pogel and Sussman at the Center for Cosmetic Dentistry can help. TMJ can cause everything from head and neck pain to ear congestion. If this sounds like you, call the Center for Cosmetic Dentistry at 22-SMILE. Put an end to the pain. See the Center for Cosmetic Dentistry in the Grease Ridge Center today.
Looking for something meaningful to do? As a Camp Good Days volunteer, you'll work with children and adults who will inspire you. Just listen to what one volunteer says about her experience.
It's unlike any other thing that I've ever experienced in my life. I won the lottery 10 times fold. My husband and I plan all year on what we're going to do for these kids.
Learn more about many volunteer opportunities at Camp Good Days and special times on the web at campgooddays.org.
While many local collision and repair shops have been gobbled up by national chains with their impersonal touch, Flower City Collision remains locally owned and operated. The shop was started by a local veteran who taught his son Zach the basics in customer service and providing customers value. Flower City doesn't work with a specific insurance company. They want to be your advocate. If you need a repair, reach out to Zach at Flower City Collision in Henrietta. He will work with your national insurance company on your local behalf to ensure you get the repair you need done right.
Livingston County Pizza Company and Gluten Free Bakery has a great deal on Tuesdays. A large 4-topping pizza for $18, regular or gluten-free. Call 226-9575. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Livingston County Pizza Company and Gluten Free Bakery in Avon.
A free solution.
Oh, yes, it is Larry Sharp here on A Free Solution. And you might say to yourself, you know what? I like this show. And that's great, because this show is on every day at noon. That's right, Monday through Friday. I know I'm here Tuesday. That's true. But you also have the cool Kevin Wilson. You got the cool Tim O'Connor. You got the cool Craig Miles on here. Come on. Can't beat this host of cool characters. Of course, I'm the best looking one of them all, but that's fine. They're all good too. So please join us here, WYSL, Rochester, New York, WACK, Newark, New York. You can reach out to us at 585-346-3000 or follow A Free Solution on both YouTube and Facebook. So before the break, I was talking about the blame game, how blaming people is what we do and nothing gets fixed, but something else. Now I always have an enemy. There's always someone who's the bad guy. Someone else's fault always. If I'm Governor Hochul, our new Lord and Master, then it's the Rona. That's the problem for everything, right? Even though there's been 10 years of horrible mismanagement, well, you know, it's the Rona. That's the reason for everything, even though it was just 2 years of their horrible decisions. And even though it was their bad decisions that made everything happen, it's the Rona. And it's Cuomo now is back. Our previous Lord Master, His Majesty King Andrew Cuomo II, he now is back in the news. And he's like, well, you know, it's cancel culture and people who are mad at me, it's their fault. I didn't do anything wrong. I don't have any fault. And if it's Biden, same thing. Why are prices so high? Why is there violence everywhere? Well, it's clearly Putin. Okay, but he made it like a month ago. I know, but he said this. You know, he was on the border of Ukraine for a while. So, yeah. So those guys who got stabbed last month, those cops who got shot 2 months ago, that's because of Putin. Because people were scared because he was on the border of Ukraine. So now they're shooting cops in New York City. That's how that works, I guess. But it's always someone else's fault. It's never theirs. And the sad part is, in this duopoly, two-party, us versus them system, there are a lot of people who will believe that. And they'll believe it for a very important reason. They want to. They want their side to be the good guys. So whatever blame you bring up, they make it 100% the other guy. Because in reality, no one's solving their issues. No one is talking about what they care about. Like Chris talked about, no one's actually solving their problems. No one's actually servicing them and helping them. Instead, they're yelling at the other. So let me grab a couple of comments here. The chat's pretty busy here. Adrian says, gas tax holiday. I like that idea. It's a good shot in the arm, but not good enough. If you notice, when I talk about taxes, I never talk only about cutting taxes. If you just cut taxes, and again, for now, probably a good shot in the arm. But long term, somehow they're going to get you with fines and fees, or someone else is going to pay for it, or it just means more debt. So I like the idea for now. We now have to also find better answers, right? Like maybe having us create some more of our own energy. That's something. We could do that, but that might work. So Abe says, we need to rename the Biden admin the dog ate my homework admin. That's not bad. Miraculously, he can use nothing is ever their fault and someone else is bad, no different than a child. Yeah, I just don't think Biden's the only one who does that. But yes, many of them do, 100%. And the funny part is, if people actually came clean, imagine how different people would see them, right? So Adrian comes back and says it's a short-term solution. Yeah, correct. Yes, we're on the same page there. Absolutely. Yes. So let's see here. Abe says, again, he continues, Afghanistan was Trump's fault. Omicron was the unvaxxed fault. High gas prices because of COVID. New high gas prices because of Putin. Nothing's ever the admin's fault. Every day they find a new boogeyman. I'm going to say yes again. But again, not just him. Absolutely him. But not just him. They're all doing this consistently again and again and again. You're totally correct. Nate says, as my former boss used to say, the only person who doesn't make a mistake is the person who isn't doing anything. The key is to recognize the mistake, correct it, and move forward with a solution. You are right, Nate. And that's the exact reason why people don't come up with that, because they don't have any solutions, right? You have to actually have a solution if you recognize the problem. But if you blame the individual, just get rid of the individual. It was Stalin, I think, who said, if I remember the quote right, he said, no man, no problem. And that was his goal. Erase people. Get rid of people. There's a problem, get rid of somebody. What's that old saying? Someone's got to pay for this. Someone's head has to roll, right? These are terrible ideas that we keep. And again, I don't want anyone here to think, I don't want you, if you're listening, to think, well, Larry doesn't want to take responsibility and punish anybody. That's not at all. My problem is that's all we do. If it's just black and white and you punish or don't, if that's only options I have, I will go with don't punish so we can fix it. But we have more than just two options. We can fix it and punish, or maybe not punish if it's not worth punishing. Sometimes people just make mistakes. To Nate's point, you want to try to get people who do things. When I was in the Marine Corps, we had a saying, and any of you former Marines or even active Marines will know this for sure, and that is good initiative, poor judgment. And the goal was to never stifle initiative, but to take that initiative and channel it in the right place, right? Push it towards the right thing. Because I want someone doing stuff, to Nate's point. Nate's totally right. I want people doing stuff. I want you thinking. I want you taking ownership. I want you trying to make things better. Of course I do. But if my entire world and my entire environment is screw up and you're fired, how are you going to do anything? You're not. You're going to stay in fear. You can do exactly the same old things, which is why, if you look at every single politician out there, all they're saying is the same old things. Why? It's safe. I'll go back to my business days again. If you're sitting here trying to sell a product or a service to a company, whatever you're trying to sell to a company, I would always say, when you sell to a company, generally speaking, one of two types of people win that bid. One, the cheapest, or two, the most popular. I'm not joking when I say that, right? You're gonna go sell your cell phone service to some company, right? The company's either gonna go with a big company like, Verizon or Sprint or something like that, or they're gonna go with Bobby Jones's cheapest service possible. One of those two, that's it. Now, if you can be popular and cheap, done deal. You win. Why those two? If the company is making a choice and it is the owner's, if it's her actual money, the woman who owns that business, it's her money or his money, that it's that owner's money, very often they'll go cheap because it's their money. Come out of their pocket. They'll often be very cost conscious because that's come out of their pocket. But if it isn't that individual, it's a larger organization, so they're actually having a budget issue, so a dollar amount is coming out and it's going to be spent no matter what, and it's not the individual owner's money, almost always they go with popular. Why? Because what they're actually concerned about is not getting fired. They don't care if the actual thing works or not. That doesn't matter. I don't want to get fired. So if you have an environment to where if you make a mistake, you get fired, you don't want to be blamed. If you go with Bobby Joe's cellular service, the boss goes, what the hell were you thinking? Why'd you pick them? That was a dumb thing. You're fired. If you pick a Verizon or a Sprint or whatever is the big one in your area, you go, boss, what can I do? It's Sprint. It's Verizon. They know, yeah, Verizon screwed up. Yeah, they did. Let's blame Verizon, boss. And that may sound funny, but it goes right back to what I talked about. Worrying about blame and not responsibility. And if the responsibility is gone and all there is blame, that's when the employees don't care how much money is spent. They only care about not getting fired. But if there's responsibility and ownership, they care about how much money is spent. They care if it works. Take that now to government. Remember when Chris called in saying people want to be helped? Yeah, they should be helped. But if you're a government-funded agency, organization, does it matter if you fail? No. As long as you blame somebody. Does it matter how much money you spend? No. Spend all the money. It's not yours. You get your paycheck no matter what. So spend all the money. Keep spending. All good. What if it's a nonprofit that is not funded by the government? Now it's donor money. Now, if I spend that money poorly, the donors don't give me money again. I may lose my job. What if I make a mistake? But it's a mistake from the heart, as Tommy said earlier. Well, it's a nonprofit. That's what they want. They want your initiative. Do the right thing. Help people out. Community will always be better than government. It's how it works. If you want people helped, you want community. Am I wrong? 585-346-3000. Call me and tell me. Larry Sharp, WYSL, a free solution. Back after the break.
Why do businesses choose to move their website from
By the way, I live in a village. It takes a village, but it doesn't take village government.
Attention to detail. Maybe it's their ability to give a truly customized solution, or perhaps they just
feel
like
free
the
to
fact that
feel free
Simpletech
to
is a local small business
say
builds
that.
great
And yeah, I live in the
relationships
village of
with its
Avon, but
clients. Whatever the
we're a
reason
great
may be,
community
you
and
can
we're there
rest
for each
assured
other.
knowing
But
that the local team at Simpletech has your
we can
best
do it on
interest
our
in
own.
mind
Thank
when
you.
building or updating your website. They're hands-on and love helping customers achieve their goals. But don't take my word for it. They've won the best in Rochester 8 years in a row and have an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. If your website doesn't match your dreams or isn't achieving your goals, give the professionals at Simpletech Innovations a call today for a consultation at 585-200-3182. That's 585-200-3182. Simpletech Innovations.
Dear Dr. Sussman.
Dear Dr. Sussman, I just wanted to write to all the wonderful people who work with Dr. Sussman and Dr. Pogel at the Center for Cosmetic Dentistry.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks so much. Each person in the office made me feel my smile.
Not only am I
was
completely happy with my smile, but I feel you've been there for me with all my dentistry
I've had
needs.
several dentists in my life, but never a dentist of your caliber. You have state-of-the-art.
You keep
dental
current in your field as evidenced by your numerous diplomas and certificates, and your entire staff is really the cream
I'm
of the
thrilled with the outcome of your skills and artistry. It's made such a difference in my life.
Dr. Sussman, Dr. Pogel, and the entire staff at the Center for Cosmetic Dentistry take great pride in providing not only advanced dental care, but extraordinary cosmetic dentistry. They love what they do and have a partnership with their patients toward long-term dental health.
For a bright, confident, beautiful smile.
Thank you, Dr. Sussman.
Thank you, Dr. Pogel.
Thank you.
Change your life, change your smile.
For more information, call the Center for Cosmetic Dentistry at 22 Smile or visit 22-smile.com.
WYSL.
The WYSL store is now open, and your car's crying for an official Voice of Liberty bumper sticker. There's a great selection to help you show your love of God, liberty, and the Constitution. Here are just a few available right now. Shut up, Fauci. Kathy Hokum. No more masking. Open the freaking schools. Scam alert January 6th. No vax mandates. God, please help us. Close the Mexican border. Save America. Stop voting for Democrats. Support the Second Amendment. And your mask doesn't protect squat. But there's more. These are standard weather-resistant bumper stickers guaranteed to get you horn honks and thumbs up in traffic. Choose from other locally made WYSL Voice of Liberty merch too, like tees, hoodies, drinkware, and more. Perfect gifts for any Liberty lover you know. Be sure to check out the exclusive WYSL Mount Worstmore shirts, hoodies, and coffee mugs depicting our 4 worst presidents. Guess who's front and center? Be free. Make a statement. Shop the WYSL store at WYSL1040.com.
A free solution.
Larry Sharp here on A Free Solution with you, and so happy to be here. WYSL, Rochester, New York, WACK, Newark, New York, and try to give you something interesting for a little chunk of your afternoon. During the break, my producer, and some of you are saying, Larry, on the internet, you can say, we can hear your producer. I know. It's called transparency. Don't worry about it. It's all good. He says, it takes a village, but not village government. Absolutely true. And I guess Hillary Clinton's book should have been, It Takes Village Government, because that would have been a bit more accurate. So at least we would know what she actually meant. But yes, the idea of it taking a village is good, but it goes back to what Chris was asking. If it takes village government, you don't have a choice. If it takes a village, you do. You can decide who you want to connect with, how you want to connect, how you want to help, who you want to help. And they can do the same for you. And in many small communities, you do find a lot of that. The problem is we want to find more of it. We want to encourage more of it. That's what we're not doing well at all. So I hope that was clear. So let me grab a couple more comments if I could. Let's see here. Nate goes on to say, pointing fingers and blame does nothing. Well, it makes people feel bad. It does that. Makes a more fear-based environment. It does that. Just nothing good. So, yeah. Elaine says, I'm a forgiving person. If they just admit errors and fix it, I'd be fine with it. You know, I'm going to go one step further. I'm going to go further than what you just said, Elaine. I'm going to say America is insanely forgiving. Think about how many people have made mistakes and we brought them back. As a nation, we can be very forgiving if people are just open, if they aren't qualified, if they show their vulnerability. I mean, I guess maybe a bad example, maybe a good one is that some of the celebrities who have openly just fallen down and shown us how human and how broken some of them are. And we take them right back into our hearts because we like their music or we like their movies or we like their comedy or whatever, right? We can be very forgiving as a nation. Now, sadly, that is beginning to go away because of so much of the blame game. I hope it doesn't go too far. Because I think, Elaine, I don't think you're the oddball here. I think you're more common than you might imagine. I'm very forgiving too, sometimes to a fault. I'm very optimistic, which is sometimes a problem. But it's true. And I think most people, if you just say, man, I messed that up, and I'm really sorry. You don't do one of those qualified, I'm afraid I'm going to get sued ones, right? I am sorry if there is anyone out there who may have taken it. You just go, man, I was wrong. I screwed up. Now, the other problem is, in our legal system, if you say sorry, very often, lawyers hear that and go, ooh, that means guilty and that means cash. Lawsuits are coming. So there is some of that too we have to worry about. But thank you. I think you're right. Ken says, why ask the least efficient entity to step in when it could be done better locally? It's a great point, Ken. And what I would say is because most people don't know any better, right? I think most people don't know any better. And they just think there's no other option but this. So I'll take what I can get. They're obviously wrong if we support them, but if we don't support them, they're kind of right. If you remember that in many cases, sadly, in America, not just America, but for us, we're saying America, most of the time the government is a monopoly and a jobs program. When it's a monopoly, what are the options that you have? And it's a jobs program. So there are people who are making money from this. How do you end it? Really hard. Really hard. But I get your point completely, Ken. I'm on the same page as you. So Zach says, any recommendations for a local LP group to increase our membership after a drastic decrease due to the COVID and lack of leadership? Well, two things. One, it's not due to COVID. It's due to COVID lockdowns. Don't forget that. COVID does not destroy business. It doesn't destroy politics. That's what it does. Only government can do that. COVID hurts people, particularly those over 65 with pre-existing conditions. That's what COVID does. It doesn't destroy businesses or careers or jobs. Only government can do that. So it's the lockdowns. But let me talk to anybody who is out there trying to reconnect, whether it's a Libertarian Party group or any group that you find valuable, any civic group or any group that's in your village and you want to grow. Don't try to organize. I'm not joking. Don't try to organize. Don't try to get things done yet. Number one thing you want to do is find a purpose, find a mission, whatever that mission is. That mission is to, help the homeless, to get someone elected, to lower taxes, to stop violence, whatever is the thing. Get that mission, get that goal. Let people know what that mission or that goal is, whatever it is. We're going to help out kids. We're going to get rid of some mandate, whatever. We're doing the thing. Once you do that, then tell people, this is what we're trying to achieve. Do you want to achieve that? Come on in. You'll see people begin to get together. Some will come online. Some will come in person. Some will come online, but they'll start coming. Then organize.
2 minutes.
Not for your group, but instead organize for that mission, whatever that mission is. And as you get closer to that mission, you'll begin to reorg. You'll change and shift. More people will come. Focus on mission or goal before anything else. That's the most important piece. I hope that was helpful. So, all right. Let's see here. Lion's Heart says, hello, everyone. Thanks for always giving me something to listen to while on lunch. Yes, again, noon every day. I hope this is helpful. Please keep doing that. Wade says, the government takes away from the village and makes the village broke. Yes, 100%. Yes, please. Wade is correct. More money should stay locally. If more money stays locally, Wade is correct, then the village isn't broke and it can now help. It can lower taxes as it sees fit. It can provide value that the people want. It can decide if the roads are more important or is safety more important. The people can decide what they find more important and can prioritize. 100% true. Not only is the village broke, but the village by default becomes very broken in general. Not just broke, but broken. Jimmy says community above government every single time. 100%. If we give less money to the state or to the local places, they'll be more effective. And now the state does what it should do. Protect the individual from local tyranny. That's a free solution. That's me, Larry Sharp, on a free solution. Thank you for giving me a chunk of your afternoon. I will see you all next week.